and blockchain software. And as we know, here in the Solo Nation community, we are expecting some Solo debit cards soon. I can only speculate and wonder if this is another step in that direction. And the cherry on top, Ripple acquired its in-principle payments license in Singapore. Wow. So BlackRock, Citadel, Deutsche Bank, Charles Schwab, NASDAQ, they have all started entering the crypto space in this last week alone. That is entirely bullish. Now, to move into our very important guest speaker for the day, everybody please throw up some emojis and welcome Lotus with 589 Radio.
Hey, thanks for having me. Much appreciated. Sounds like everything's running smooth today, so can't wait to get into it.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for being understanding and coming back during the technical difficulties that we experienced yesterday. The Twitter gods were not on our favor.
I think we did pretty well considering we couldn't hear each other.
I would have to agree. So let's start briefly with Lotus. I know we talked about some of this yesterday, but because of all the interruptions, let's just run it back from the top. Tell us a little bit about your project in 589 Radio.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. My name is Lotus, and I am a part of the Terra Teddy's NFT community. And as a community and as a project, we are developing 589 Radio. What 589 Radio is exactly what it sounds like. It's a crypto blockchain-eccentric focus with the foundation of 589 and XRP community. And it's a radio station built to deliver decentralized media content across the world from the top independent content creators there are out here. There's so much value in the what do you call it? You know, the mass media. They have an agenda. There's a lot of censoring. There's a lot of push behind focus for everybody to kind of speak the same thing and push a narrative. So we are trying to combat that. We're trying to create an opportunity to where real news and real people can reach the world, and through our research and through many of the things that we see developing, there's definitely a big need for this and a big want from this from society. Things like the Twitter files and some of the emails that have been revealed and the things that have happened over the past few years, including COVID and many things, have opened a lot of people's eyes to what's happening. So we're presenting a platform and an opportunity to be able to get real news out there from real people, and allow people to get that news from people like yourself, like SOLONATION Weekly, and other shows and other communities that are creating great content, doing research, and providing that to the world. So we will be broadcasting it live over the radio. The radio will be able to be accessed through a web browser. You'll be able to download an app directly to your phone, whether that's Android or Apple. It'll also be integrated with Amazon Alexa. So simply saying play 589 Radio will pull the station up. We'll be developing a podcast section to go with that as well, so that way replayed content is available for anybody that maybe missed live shows, and it'll also give an opportunity for a lot of projects that are developing here in the blockchain space and industry to be able to have a centrally located podcast feed with their content for maybe their AMAs or certain things like that. So everybody in this industry can, connect with different founders or developers that they're interested in, and then have access to, the top curated talent from around the space. And that will include many different things like shows like this, or other shows or content creators that are on other platforms like Clubhouse or YouTube or all the different mediums, right? We're going to curate the top across that, create shows that produce media, news, entertainment. We'll have live music. We are a licensed commercial webcaster, so we're fully licensed to broadcast music. So we'll mix in the entertainment. We'll mix in, live DJ events, live events potentially on weekends and things like that. Have the ability to broadcast from events across the world with everybody that's included in the station and whatnot. and create virtual studios to kind of put this out with live simulcasted content and also pre-recorded content that's developed and played over the station.
Wow. What an invaluable service that you guys are offering, not only the XRP community, but the entire world as a whole. Because as you said, with COVID and all the dire times we had, there was a ton of overreach from our centralized overlords who censored our free speech. So what you're doing is an invaluable service, and I'm very excited to partake. Real quick, I want to remind everybody that this is and will always be a for the community, by the community space. So if you guys would, please retweet this space, post it in your Telegram and Discord groups. Make sure and give your host, co-host, and speakers today a follow and click that bell icon so you can see when we're doing updates and spaces in the future. Now, back to 589 Radio. I was very grateful and humbled when you came to me and offered us a spot on the show. And we cannot wait to stream and go on air with 589 Radio and to support this movement. We're extremely bullish.
I know. I'm extremely excited. I think 2020 for me was a real eye opener. Working in the media, I always thought I was quite savvy to, I guess, being brainwashed, I guess. But yeah, 2020 was an eye opener for me too. And it was only after I was like posting stories and just seeing like how directly shadow banned I was and cancelled I was basically. It's like this is just, I was like blown away when Brendo said it the other day. So it's just a really exciting time to be in this space and to have a voice again, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you guys. I've been paying attention to the show and watching the show, listening to replays, and the content that you guys create is phenomenal. It's educational, and it's very informative. It covers a lot of different topics, and it really connects the community. And the message that you guys are providing is exactly what we're looking for to add to the station, and that's the exact kind of content and creation that we're looking for. So we're extremely excited to have you guys. I think Brendo, you and Lainey as co-hosts together, you have phenomenal. You guys work together phenomenally. You play off each other really well, and the content you produce is not only researched prior, and you know what you're coming in to talk about and whatnot, but you deliver it very, very well. You deliver it very, very good professionally, and it's going to be a big benefit, I think, on the station. And I think we're going to be able to expand your audience in the process as well, and give you a larger reach across the world. So it's a great opportunity for everybody involved, I think.
I'm eternally grateful, Lotus, for your kind words. I really appreciate that. And I think you're an eloquent speaker as well. You do very well at getting the message across. And, we're with you because, tribalism is a thing of the past. It's the old way. And where the future is going to be multi-chain, interoperability. So we can't wait, and the fact that you guys aren't just tied to like a D app on like the XRP ledger, you guys are going to be on, YouTube and across several different stations, an app to download on iOS and Android devices. So it's gonna make the barrier to entry a lot easier to kind of connect the outsiders to these spaces that we can hopefully help them onboard into the crypto sphere.
Yeah, that's exactly one of the things that we're motivated by. So our vision in terms of how we build for the people. We're community driven in all aspects. That's our number one thing. There's nothing more important than our community and the community that we serve, whether that's our own members or the other members that we integrate here with on the XRPL. Because let's face it, everybody's involved in different communities and across different blockchains, and you see the same people intermingled throughout. So we're all in this together. We're actually, the ones that are carrying the torch and the ones marching this. Most of the world has yet to experience or know this. Most of the world is scared to enter crypto. It's different. They don't understand the technology. They don't understand the wallet structure. They hear from mass media how dangerous it is and how the only people that are involved in it are people that are stealing or trying to sell drugs, which is totally fake and totally unreal, right? So creating a radio station that's second nature to anybody in the world. People have been listening to radio their whole life. They listen to it every single day, is a way for us to reach every single person in the world, whether they are involved in crypto or not, whether they have a crypto wallet or not. And we know that everybody out there is really looking for this uncensored media platform. So it gives us an opportunity to reach these people and bring them in to where they can hear from the community. They can understand the vibe. They can kind of grow with us and kind of be eased in, and then get the education and the knowledge they need too as they enter the space from connecting with the communities and with the people that are here, taking their information and then going a step further, joining those communities and getting actually integrated in this whole entire movement. So I think as far as outreach and as far as mass adoption is concerned, I think we're actually leading the way and leading the charge in this force here. It's something that nobody's really done before. And I'm pretty sure we won't be the last to do it, but we're looking to really, stake claim and kind of start this charge moving forward and help in changing the way the world gets its information and the way they process it.
100%. I think there's like such a growth market. Like all you have to do is look at Tucker Carlson, like going over from Fox to Twitter, right? Like traditional media is dead, and yeah, this is the future, and it's just so exciting to be part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all going to onboard and build slowly. And as soon as we nail someone like that, it's going to be over. And the masses are going to have access to uncensored information and truth. And, we really are, we the people, we are the sleeping giant that once we communicate, there will be nothing that can stop what is coming. So, Lotus, I had a quick question. Just as far as, let's say I'm new to the space, I just started a new project, and I want to get in touch with you guys to feature my project on some airtime. What would be the first step that I should take in order to get in contact with 589 Radio?
Yeah, the first step and the easiest way to get in contact would either be DM me directly. My DMs are open, so anybody can DM me, and I do see that. If you also go to the 589 Radio Twitter page, if you click on my profile, you'll see the link to the 589 Radio Twitter page. Pinned to that page, there's a Google form that provides some information and provides kind of something that you can submit to where we can get some more information from you. You can give us some samples of your content, and you can provide, what exactly you're looking for, the repetition of your shows or the content that you can create and all that information. So the easiest way to submit would be to fill out that Google form or kind of send me a DM, and I can send the form to you as well. So we have that type of way, and then also actively as a community and as a company where we are doing an outreach and looking and scouting talent ourselves as well to add to the show. We have quite a few people that have signed up already. Not all the names have been released yet, but there's a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of people that are really excited. Every single person that we've talked to so far has been extremely enthused about what we're doing, and we see the light bulb go off when we have these conversations. So we're having a lot of really good feedback as we go out and we reach out to people to find out interest for coming on the station. That's going really well. But we're not just looking for people that are creating shows. We're also looking to encompass many different things. So whether you're in the music industry or maybe you're a radio DJ or you're a music creator or you're into comedy, because we want to have that mix, right? So maybe some late night comedy shows and daily news shows that keep you up to date on the repetitive news or the things that's happening in the space and different things like that. So we really want to curate a vast array of content and kind of bring it all together in one.
Very cool. I'm glad actually that you mentioned music, because I got to search the far corners of the web to find these songs that are talking about sologenic or XRP to play at the beginning of these spaces. So I wanted to mention, if anybody in this space or anyone that listens in has any kind of linguistical talent or musical drive, please reach out to me or to anybody that you know in the Solo Nation community, and let's try to do a collab or produce some kind of song. I would love to feature it, on these spaces and get you some airtime. So the more creation we have, the more production we have, building up Solo Nation and XRP in general is going to help bring awareness and help obviously boost all of our investment that we have collectively here in the same platform. So real fast, we had a question. We had multiple people ask this question, and I'm just going to cover it last space. But like I said, we had some issues. So the question was how to take profits, which I think is an amazing question, because far too often I myself have rode a vicious God candle to the top and sat there and watched it come back down cent by cent, dollar by dollar. And it's just at the agony, right? So the way I've always taken profit, and I live in the States, if I'm trying to sell, take a little profit, maybe 10 to 15 to 20% of my bag on the next pump, I would send some Sologenic or Coreum or XRP, whatever you have set aside for your profit bag. I would send that to either Huobi or to Bitrue. Once you get to a centralized exchange such as Huobi or Bitrue, which have some of the most liquidity for Sologenic, I would swap it for USDT and then swap that USDT for either XLM or Atom, because XLM and Atom have some of the lowest transaction fees, and you can then send it to Coinbase to sell directly into your bank account. So in a nutshell, Solo to Huobi for the best liquidity, swap for USDT, swap USDT for XLM, send XLM to Coinbase, and then cash out, cash the bag. So I hope that helps. I know Laney's in Australia. There's probably a different method. Laney or Lotus, do you guys have anything that y'all could add?
So for me, I watched a candle go up and down in January 2021, I think, of XRP. But at that point, I was just like, no, like I had no idea what was going on. So I was just like, it's gonna go to the moon, but it didn't, obviously. And here we are. No, but in Australia, so I've just been, I haven't really taken that much profit. I've just been sort of like topping up my credit card. So what I do is send it to Binance, transfer it to USDT, and then put it on my credit card. I've got like a credit card on CoinJar, and I just use that to spend my cryptos. But and then also that way, like I can charge it as an expense versus like cashing it out to the tax man.
Yeah, typically, the way I do it is a little bit different. I actually, a couple years back, kind of moved mostly into cryptocurrency and kind of left the majority of the banking system. Obviously, we still have to be connected to the banking system for many different reasons. So, and it's always good to keep some stuff there. But I moved a lot over, and typically, what I will do is I don't cash out much. I will play the like USDC. So typically, I will take profits that way, where I will move into a stable coin and then hold at a stable coin, because not having a position sometimes is having a position, right? And then also from experience going through through the euphoria phases and stuff, it's really hard to keep your emotions in check there. The space is going crazy. People are going insane. You hear all these stories about people who made millions of dollars overnight and all of these things, and you just think it's never going to end. So the best advice I can say is be prepared for those situations, so that way you have a strategy and plan in place when it comes, because it will go up and it will go down, right? If you've been in the space long enough to experience a bull run and then a bear market, you've understood that. If you haven't yet, it does go through phases and it does change. So watching the markets and staying connected with community and doing your own research to make your own decisions. But I would definitely say my best word of advice would be to have that plan in place pre-hand, and stay focused on that, so that way you can act emotionlessly when it comes to pivoting when you need to.
Honestly, that is literally why I have been spiraling all week with all of this bullish news. I just feel like I'm not completely prepared. So I'm like, does anyone have any other strategies they want to share with us? Because like genuinely, like I've just sort of like been scraping off the top to like spend on my credit card. Whereas like if, you know, I haven't been in that position where I'm going to like take big profits, and also like trying to do it in the sassiest way possible, right? Where we're not alerting certain banks and taxmen.
Absolutely. I'm guilty of that as well. I'm very much an A-type personality. So when I see these candles, the euphoria is real, the FOMO kicks in, and it can be hard to hit that sell button. You know, we can all hit the buy button when it's low, like it is now at a discount. But hitting that sell button, you always go through your head, what if, you know, what if? So to touch on what Lotus said, I think that's an invaluable piece of advice. You should set yourself some sell targets. So set aside X amount of your bag, and then set a target, you know, to sell 33% here, 33% there, and the final 33% at like a, you know, make your wish number, something that's like a miracle to you. That way you can ride it out, see what you hit, and kind of learn for the next time. So invaluable advice for sure.
Also, if I can add real quick, it does you have to utilize Bitcoin, which, they utilize the Lightning Network, but Cash App is a convenient resource for people to use if needed for certain types of things, to where you can actually purchase Bitcoin on Cash App or purchase Bitcoin from an exchange and then send to your Cash App. And then you can have that there for a very quick access with where you can convert it back to maybe USD or whatever. And I know Cash App isn't available everywhere in the world, but for anybody on the state side, it's a very convenient option that can be utilized in certain situations also.
Very cool. Very cool. I see Raga. He's just joined the stage, guys. He's on the panel and he has his hand up. So Raga, welcome to the stage, sir. Hope you're enjoying your first Friday of summer. How you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys? I just
Hello.
Hi. I just wanted to say there is a guy I came upon on one of the spaces. His name is Donald, and he goes on spaces and he just sings songs live. I think, because you mentioned you were looking for someone. Uh, One of the songs is called "She Fucking Rugged Me." You guys know the song, but he just like changed the words, so that could help. And also to reach out for territories, you can, like projects or anybody can reach out through me as well. Just wanted to say that.
Wow.
Yeah, also,
Yes. Thank you,
yeah,
Raga, for sharing. Please
Raga
send me
is
his
part of our
handle, sir.
team. Yeah, sorry, I should have mentioned that. Raga is part of our team. He deals directly with other projects, other businesses that are building on the XRPL, and he's kind of onboarding and can help with information and getting anybody kind of set up as well. So he's definitely one of our team members, and can be help in getting contact 4589 radio or any type of collaborations or anything.
No worries, Lotus. Thank you for that. And I was gonna message you, but I can't send messages on Twitter to send you the account. Should I tag the name in the comments or something?
Go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna send you a
Okay.
direct message for now, just so we open the line. I got to figure out
Okay.
how to work that so that everyone can message me. I'm still learning
Sure.
Twitter, guys, so thank you for bearing
No
with me.
worries.
Message me,
Also
use
same.
the gas. Yeah, it takes a little time, that's for sure, and it's definitely something new. So, but real quick, guys, I want to focus back to the roots and to square one as to why we started this channel and this space. Back in the bear market, the not so distant bear market that we are still in the last leg of, this Solo Nation OG Club, I want to remind everybody, there was never a primary sale for these OG NFTs. They were airdropped and awarded to 107 FUD warriors that fought the FUD during this bear market and who helped people paint the image of where this was going. Before we had the BlackRocks applying for ETFs, before we had the SEC approving leveraged Bitcoin ETFs, this was before we had Ripple acquiring the license in Singapore, the acquisition license. This was before all the good news. These guys had the vision. So big homage, big respect to the Solo Nation OG Club. And in order to truly show my appreciation, I decided to start a validator on the Coreum network. It is called the Starforge Validator. And what we will be doing is there will be a monthly drip that I will contribute to the holders of the OG Club NFTs. So at the end of each month, probably starting in August, I'm still working out the details, but most likely beginning in August, the first week of August, we will distribute 1% of the commission amongst the 107 OG Club holders. So if you have multiple NFTs, you'll get X amount per NFT. So this is the way that I kind of showed, as a token of my gratitude to all of you guys here in Solo Nation and in XRP Army. That's what I chose to do. So I pinned it in the nest. You guys can follow the Starforge IBC to stay up to date with the details and how we're going to acquire that. If you hold OG NFTs and you're not in the OG Telegram, please reach out to Fabio, Coinholder, Zen, or me or myself, and we will try to get you in there. So congrats to everybody who held through this bear market. It was gruesome and it was not easy. So, and to touch on that, I meant to say too, so a big part of Coreum and these decentralized networks is decentralization itself. So although I am starting a validator, I want to take the time to say everybody should diversify and decentralize their delegations. I personally delegate to at least 4 different validators in order to promote and to prioritize decentralization, which helps secure the network. And that's what I look for in my validator is somebody who has the community interest in mind. So a few good ones just off the top of my head that I'd love to, pay homage to would be obviously the Zen Lounge IBC. It would be also, we have one of our own OG members start his own validator. His name is Flowpack, and I forget the name of his validator. Oh, it's
Corenons.
He also Corenons. Thank you, Lainey. They're both bare metal validators, just like the Starforge. I've hired it. I'm partnered with the team that's going to use bare metal validators. If there's ever, God forbid, some natural disaster in the central U.S. region where we have our setup, then they can instantly migrate everybody over. So there's no downtime, there's no slashing, and there's no jailing. It's extremely secure, just like the Zen Lounge IBC. They also run a bare metal, just like the Coreum. They also run a bare metal, and Trizzle Synchrotron is also a very outstanding validator to delegate to. So that's just a few off the top of my head. I'm sure I'm forgetting of others, but I will, like I said,
he's got some good APR as well.
Absolutely. Yes, he does. And they will all basically feature an auto compounding where you can basically auto compound your rewards on a hourly, daily, basis through restake. So it's super cool. And I don't know if you know about compounding, but Warren Buffett was quoted saying something along the lines that compound interest is like the 7th wonder of the world or something like that. So it works wonders when you compound your investments. So, Rise Earnwise is also a very solid validator choice. He's a part of this community, and he is also an OG holder. So be sure and follow, look in the pin tweet, be sure and follow Starforge IBC. I'll be making some posts just listing different validators that I support, that I think support the community interests, and that are really solid choices with the bare metal setup that also has auto compounding enabled. So back to the subject at hand, 589 radio. Lotus, I'm sure that you guys would have some hot topics right now if y'all covered this crazy phenomenon, this billionaire cage fight between Elon and Zuckerberg. Are you guys seeing this?
Yeah, I seen it, man. Comical. So I noticed
who's your fighter? Choose your fighter.
Oh man, so it's so tough, right? But I don't know. I gotta know the height and weight, right? I think Elon's probably got the height and weight advantage massively, but he's also pretty old and he's kind of fat, let's be honest. So I don't know how it would really play out.
So I posted that in a Discord group chat yesterday, and I was like 100% Elon because like just the way he was like on paper. But someone showed me a video, and apparently the Zuck does some Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and he's not bad. Like, and he's also not fat. So I think I might have to change my vote.
It's a
Yeah,
tough
I
one
saw
for
that too.
sure. The Zuckerberg has been training, but like Lotus said, Elon definitely has some weight, and he might even have some reach on him. So I'm gonna have to do some more analysis before I put my money on one of these fighters.
It would be interesting, but I definitely I've seen something that was really funny, and somebody posted a tweet of the article from Zuckerberg saying that he wanted to fight, and then Elon replied to that tweet and just replied Vegas Octagon. So we'll see.
I think he send location or something like that, and that's what Elon sent. And apparently Andrew Tate might train Elon Musk. He offered him apparently.
Wow.
I did see that actually. It's just a wild world. You can't make these things up.
It almost seems like theatrics, right? It's almost unbelievable when I watch this mainstream news,
The only
narratives.
way, the only way I think it's gonna be legit if is each one puts all their bag on the line. Like that. It's legit for sure. Either you win all or you lose everything.
The $1 billion fight, man,
Yeah.
that would be insane. So another thing that was interesting that I'm sure we've all seen in the news, and it's weird because the last time this happened, I think the year after that, the Federal Reserve was formed and the entire financial system as we know it basically changed. And now we're seeing this Titan sub that went to go visit the Titanic just go missing out of nowhere exactly 100 years after the Federal Reserve was formed. And that just gives me little vibes of what is this? A new financial order is coming. These are some kind of comms. Are you guys seeing that?
I definitely
Like,
seen that. I definitely seen some information. I was reading some things, and the information that I got from that stated how way back when the Titanic maiden voyage was going, there was three billionaires that were invited to go on that ship, and the story, so to say, alleges that J.P. Morgan was also supposed to be on there, and last minute he did not go on the ship. And those three billionaires, or maybe not billionaires at the time, but those three very rich men at the time, were the opposition to the Federal Reserve. So very interesting what was uncovered, and then yeah, the similarities and the coincidences between what just happened now. And many of those things really makes you wonder what's going on there.
Absolutely.
uh,
And we're seeing that
it,
digital walkthrough. I guess they use sonar of the Titanic that sunk, and they're seeing this spot kind of where the coal was, where it looks like a blowout, almost like an explosion that took place. So very interesting. Take it away, Raga.
uh, if anybody remembers, it just crossed my mind. Isn't in the movie at the end of the scene like you see like three billionaires or something? Because I've heard that thing too about what Lotus said, and I've also heard that apparently I don't know. It took a while. Like it doesn't maybe make sense, but the fire or whatever issue it had, it started back when before setting out, and they knew about it or something. But because of what Lotus said, also the three billionaires, that's why it could have been like it crashed or it sank or whatever it is.
So I'm going to expose myself as how deep a conspiracy theorist I am. But there's a lot of like I've seen a lot of things online this week in terms of like whether it's like a ritual. To be honest with you, like the astrology kind of explains it as well. Like the submarine went missing when it was a moon void of course, which is like and also with the transits like Sun square Neptune, it's a little bit like swimming in the cosmic soup and like bad to be in the ocean. Like I went in the ocean yesterday and was like scared to be in there. I was like, oh my god, the people are going to take me in the ocean. But no, genuinely, there's like theories about it being faking their own death. There's one that it's like a simulation theory, and like the simulation theory in terms of like it's just the cycle being repeated again. One's another like a new ushering in the new financial system like ritual. So it's like choose your own adventure at this point. which also is a transit basically, because there's lots of with that Sun square Neptune, there's like low visibility, confusion, paranoia, disillusion, distraction, mystery. So they're like, oh, and things vanishing and details missing. So yeah, it's like the theme of the week apparently.
Wow. I actually saw one of those theories said something like someone that was aboard has like ties back to the bloodline of the Strausses, who was one of the three billionaires who could have had the power to oppose the Federal Reserve back when the original Titanic sank. And I don't know if that's true. I don't want to go off on conspiracies here. I'm just adding to that. But to cycle back into the space, I just want to remind everybody that this is and will always be a for the community, by the community space. So if anyone in here who's listening in has a project that they want to start, that they've already started, and would like to display that project or to get some airtime, please reach out to Lainey or to myself, and we'll certainly set up a call and get you set up for some airtime on some of these future spaces. We try to do them every week. So definitely, refer people to us, definitely, like Raga said, with that guy who sings, keep putting me on with people who sing or other musicians. That's invaluable for this community.
And if there's something that you want to say today, if you want to get something off your chest, or just want to have your debut on Twitter Spaces, chuck your hand up now or request to speak.
Go ahead, Raga. I see your hand up, brother.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. I just wanted to ask because you mentioned the two in a way. Like, do we know who these people are, or as you said, their bloodline or one of them? Like, do people know, like, did someone do research who they are, what they do in life, or how they made their billions? Like, is there clarity on that, or does someone know?
That's a really good question, Raga. And that's why I basically said that I'm just going in with a conspiracy on this, because I have not vetted it myself, nor do I have any kind of signifying data to back that up. But I'm sure within the Zen Lounge, we have all types of people with open minds who research different areas from each corner of the earth. And I'm very sure that somebody in there will have some intel. Lotus.
Yeah. Before I get to the actual comment that I wanted to make, from time to time I hear a rattlesnake in the background, and I think it's absolutely amazing. I don't know what that sound is, but it sounds like a rattlesnake, and it adds fire to the show. So whatever it is, that's awesome. But with the recent everything that happened, I mean, we already see multiple controversies and just how it was being reported and different things. There's been some news that have come out that was saying that, the implosion happened actually when they lost contact, and the knocking sound and all of these other different things could be, media spinning things different ways. So there's a lot to really dive into. There was a billionaire on there. I did hear about a connection to the Rothschilds through the Ocean Gate company itself, as well. Yeah, it's super weird that you would have so many coincidences with the Titanic. You know, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I did see the Ocean Gate on the Rothschild. Apparently, he was hired a year ago or something like that. Someone who's a Rothschild family. So yeah.
The rabbit hole certainly runs deep with this one. The force is strong with this one. But yeah, Lotus, whenever you speak, I hear a really nice ambience as well. It's perhaps some birds in the background chirping that sets a really nice tone. So I appreciate you. And yeah, what that is, I live in Texas, in the sticks. And so cicadas around this time of year are everywhere. So they're actually cicadas. It's like people call them locusts, but they're actually cicadas. So, and to touch on the conspiracy stuff, Zen is in here. I'm sure he's probably busy. He's a very busy guy, always building things for this community. He's an upstanding guy who's put a lot of things together for Solo Nation and XRP Army as a whole. But if he has some time to come up here, I'll invite him to speak. If he has some time, perhaps he could shed some more light on these rabbit holes. He's a deep researcher who goes into all that stuff, and it's very interesting. So, but yeah, it's crazy. You see, like Laney's pretty well versed in astrology, and like I said, I don't know much about it, but it certainly seems that every time we have solar flashes or the solar solstices, or like next year in April, we have the total solar eclipse that hasn't happened in like 4 years, and it just so happens to be occurring at the same time or close to the same time as the Bitcoin halving. So it's really crazy how like these billionaires follow the astrology, and it really seems like the money does as well. So super interesting.
I will. I'm that annoying girl that will relate anything back to astrology within like 0.235 seconds. So, but yeah.
There was some recent news coming out, which actually happened the day leading up to that disappearing, to where I was seeing a bunch of reports about the Schumann resonance or something frequencies, and I don't know exactly what that is, but they were going off, and a bunch of people that follow those were saying that they've never seen those type of patterns being formed, and
Oh my
that they
God,
were
I am that people. I am that people.
Yeah, it could have been that. It kind of makes sense maybe.
I discovered the Schumann resonance in 2020 with a lot of other things like XRP and everything else. But yeah, so basically, I noticed a direct correlation between like my body becoming super sensitive to the solar flashes, and it to the point like it was ridiculous. Like I would like say it to my friends, oh, like there's a solar flash coming in, and then it would like start registering on the app. And like to the point where my friends thought it would be funny. They'd be like, oh, look at this, you must be passed out. And they'd like send me like a picture of that. And I'd wake up like later and be like, lol, I am. But yeah, basically this pattern came through on the weekend. And it was, even me, I was just like, holy wow, like, what the fuck, like just was so shook, because it was something we'd never seen before. So we see like spikes, and we see blackouts when they try to like hide the information or the data, but never this pattern. And it was just so bizarre because the way that it was coming in that day too, like was very different to how I normally feel it too. But there's a lot of like speculation about, whether it was real. Like obviously like it was in my app, so it was real. But in terms of like, a lot of people, yeah, I guess we don't know. But there's like a lot of, like for me it's like, oh, like are the white hats in control? But no, it's an exciting time. Do you know much about it, Lotus?
I don't know. That was actually the first I had ever heard of it, but I had seen many, many people like on Twitter producing content and putting information about it. And then we actually, inside our Discord, we have a private kind of conspiracies thread channel where a lot of our community members cover and try to dive into a lot of these things happening. So it was really brought to my attention through Twitter and then through that channel with everybody else in our community talking about it. So I'm not really versed on it, um, but I know that from the things that I was hearing is that those typically correlate with some big events that have happened in the world in the past. So it was interesting to see so many people saying so many different things about that. We've had so many different things in the world that have been eye-opening just very, very recently that are making you question and wonder what's going on. There's been talks about every like a few weeks back, all the people, everybody in Congress was given satellite phones and different things. We see, you know, there's just so much happening in the world, and you just wonder. Like, I think all of our eyes are open to look deeper into the things that we hear and maybe trust less of what we're told and try to kind of put some pieces together. So I think as a whole and as a society, like we're all just trying to figure out where these things land and fall.
100.
Lotus. Yeah, sorry, Lena, go
Oh,
ahead.
no, yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, Lotus, maybe for the politicians that they got the satellite phones, I had heard that a few weeks ago, like 1 or 2 weeks ago, there was going to be a huge cyber attack. So it could have been for that too as well.
Well, that's what I'm worried about because the WEF, what was it, about a year or 2 years ago, the WEF did a simulation for the cyber attack. They talked about a cyber pandemic. We had Biden a few weeks back mention about another pandemic that will come, and then the money to get through 2023, and then all of these different random thoughts. And sometimes I think Biden speaks out of tune where maybe he wasn't supposed to say something. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to get into politics or anything like that, but there's been some weird things that have been adding up and lining up. And especially we know that we're on the brink of the change of the financial world, and money controls everything. So these big people and these big players in the world are going to be kind of, they're going to know what's going to happen before. And you see a lot of things happening that just make you wonder, like, are they getting prepared to kind of flip the switch on us? Or are they getting prepared to, a lot that what we see even with the SEC and what the SEC is doing with the lawsuits. I mean, a year or so ago, there was a lot of people reporting that the SEC would go and attack exchanges. We see that playing out right now. Is that an attempt to scare everybody away from crypto and things like that? So pockets could be lined before the new financial system gets put into place. These are all things that we think of and we consider and we try to figure out.
Absolutely. And I'm incredibly bullish. And you touched on the point that they always, I don't want to get political either, but they do always kind of sabotage the market to put a really nice entryway for these elites to line their pockets. And another interesting thing we saw just not so long ago is all these different elites who were just having these real unfortunate mishaps and spraining ankles, and they got these massive ankle boots on, and we're all wondering, what that's about. But anyways, again, not to get into politics, but we have a speaker who requested. He's a very cool guy. He's a part of the Teddies. He's also in the Zen Lounge. Brother, I can't pronounce your name, but I'm pretty sure your name is Steve. So Steve, please take the stage.
Edil's Gibbet.
Hey, what's up, Brendo? How you doing, man? I'm always a little shy on these spaces, but I actually kind of learned how to do this from Lotus and a lot of the guys from the Terror Teddy. So just wanted to say stoked to be here. Glad to see the Zen Lounge members. I see Kappa and Laney and a couple others, and there's a bunch of good brothers in Terror Teddies. It's glad to see these two worlds kind of merge together, and I see Zen down there and Santiki, and believe it or not, you guys will laugh, there's somebody in here named Footloose that's being pretty quiet. He's kind of a blend of both of these together. I wish I could tell you the story a little bit more, but anyway, glad to be in here, glad to be listening. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you for saying hi.
Absolutely, man. And we're happy to have you to be a member of this community. It takes all of our voices to hold this up, and we're just getting started. So we love to collaborate. Like I said earlier, the future is all about interoperability and this community coming together. And it's funny that we're talking about all these conspiracies in politics, because that's exactly how I started at first, was down the rabbit holes, finding some of the corruption that took place in years past. And it led me to Zen and his YouTube that basically has such good material. I'm talking thousands of hours of great material that if you guys haven't, definitely check out Zen God's YouTube, and it'll catch you up on a lot of crazy stuff. And that introduced me to XRP. So, now here we are. We're all coming together from all different walks of life. We're all building on this amazing blockchain, what I believe to be the best blockchain, XRP Ledger, one of the fastest, lowest fees, and the oldest and first DEX to ever have been invented. Magical times. So we are approaching 1 hour space time. And while I love talking with everybody, it's been a very valuable space. I wanted to touch base with Lotus and with Laney and see if Laney has any more questions for Lotus, or Lotus, is there anything that we should have asked you that you want to shed some light on that perhaps I didn't?
Yeah, sure. I could just kind of close it out. So, 589 Radio, it's the first of its kind. This doesn't exist on Ethereum, Bitcoin, or any other chain. So I think we're leading the charge here. We're leading the charge with what's going to happen. As a community-driven project, we're looking to empower individuals and empower people with the strength of community. We do that also with our NFT community, and our NFT community is behind the production of this. We started back in December with a really soft launch, in January with an official launch, and throughout this time as a community, we've been building and utilizing talents within, and they really spurred the creation of this 589 Radio, and we think that we can really make change in the world and provide a new outlet for people and provide new exposure for people to really kind of drive this content and drive this information out to the world that's being censored from it. So in 589 Radio, we won't be censoring the content. We are going to give people their freedom of speech that they deserve, and their ability to connect with communities, and elevate that to a new level, by bringing multiple platforms together, along with multiple people together across the world. So the Terra Teddies as a community, and as a project that's kind of behind the development of 589 Radio. We have our Genesis Mint NFT coming up. So if anybody is interested in that, if you click on my account, you can find the link to Dr. Devious workshop, and you can get a lot of information there. Join our Discord, connect with our community, and you'll really find out a lot more about who we are.
Great. Very nice recap, Lotus. Really appreciate you, being on the show and making time even after our difficulties yesterday. So, everybody, like I say, this is for the community, by the community, always will be. Please make sure you go in, give Lotus, Raga, Laney, myself a follow. Click the bell icon on the SOLONATION OG Club so you can see the future episodes whenever we launch. Sometimes the time does vary, but I do try my damnedest to get it at the same time each day. But I'm a real estate broker in real life. And so, sometimes I have showings that overlap, or, sometimes it doesn't fit my schedule and I have to move some things. So anyways, I really appreciate everyone for bearing with me. Quick reminder that the Starforge Validator is now live. Today is its first full day being live. The more delegations we receive, the more the passive income will be for the Sologenic OG NFT holders. Lainey, did you have any other questions for our guest here today?
I think you covered it off, but I will be switching some validator your way today. So if anyone wants to do that too, and we can just celebrate with that.
Hey, Brendo, I kind of missed the space a little bit because I fell asleep actually. But what's the deal with the validator? Is it for staking Sologenic or Coreum?
Sure. Yeah. Great question. So just a quick recap, 1 minute elevator pitch. So the Sologenic OG Club, as we all know, there was never a primary sale. And what we're seeing with a lot of other NFTs that have been launched is they'll do a primary sale, they'll take some of those profits and pay the team out, and then they'll give a monthly reward for the NFT holders after selling out. So the Sologenic OG Club never had a primary sale. It was airdropped to all the FUD warriors of this bear market. And so as a way to pay homage, I fired up the Starforge Validator, where 1% of the commission will be distributed to the Sologenic OG holders on a monthly basis, probably starting in August, but it's subject to change. What I'll be doing is there's two different strategies I'm working on. There's some bots in the Discord. We can verify your ZUM holdings to make sure you have the NFTs and take a snapshot towards the end of the month to make sure that it's current. And then the other strategy I have is, if you're not, guys, if you do hold a Sologenic OG NFT and you are not already in the Sologenic OG Telegram group, please reach out to myself, Laney, Zen, Fabio, or Coinholder, and ask them to put you into that group. That's where most of this alpha will be shared. We do have, I think, roughly 60 plus people who hold Sologenic OGs in that exclusive Telegram group. So definitely reach out to that. But yeah, Edelsberg, to answer your question, eventually, Coreum is about, I don't want to speak for anything or step out of line here, but Coreum, in my opinion, Coreum will soon announce that they have enabled the IBC native to the Coreum chain, which means that it can be transferred over to Atom or to Osmosis or to Juno, which has the Windex, the Osmosis Dex, and several other decentralized exchanges where you'll be able to provide liquidity, earn passive rewards, do all sorts of different things. So eventually, I'm going to try to find a developer that can build out a D app where it'll automatically take a screenshot or take a snapshot of the XRPL NFT holdings, and then it's going to basically take the rewards from that month, convert them into Sologenic once the XRPL becomes IBC inoperable via Coreum. And then after converted to Solo, we'll send it out to the OG holders, which should help the burn rate. But anyways, I'm getting way ahead of myself, guys. This is not out yet. This is all a part of the plan. We are just beginning. Today's the first full day of Starforge's launch. So definitely please try to support us. But like I said, don't send all your delegations. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. In other words, make sure you delegate to at least 4 different validators in order to support decentralization. So give the Starforge a follow. I pinned the tweet up in the nest, and I'll be making some posts following this to pay homage to the Sologenic OG Club give some more details about the program, as well as shout out some other really good validators who run the same bare metal server like I do, that's extremely secure and also has community interest at heart.
Brendo, sorry, I'm not trying to, I don't really know. I want to find out more information about that, and I'm not very good at Twitter. Lotus has helped me out a little bit. Where do I find that information? Just click on that Solo Nation Weekly thing where it's Starforge.
Yeah, so if you look at the top where I pinned Starforge, if you just search Twitter at Starforge IBC, that is the handle of the Starforge account. That's where I'll be posting these updates.
I see that. Okay.
Yeah, click that tweet and then follow that account that tweeted that tweet that's pinned up top, and then you'll be able to stay up to date on all that info. And it's staking Coreum, which you can see up there in that tweet and get that info. But I want to give a big thank you to Brendo, to Laney for the opportunity to come up here and speak today. You know, at 589 Radio, we're extremely honored to have you guys as a part of this station on launch and for the future to come. So thank you for both of those things, and we really look forward to a future as well in growing together.
Absolutely, Lotus. Collaboration is the key. Sorry, Laney, go ahead.
No, I was going to say a big shout out to you as well for having us, and also to you, Brendo, for having like the back of the OGs. Like I should have said it earlier. It's such a, I think I said it to you privately. I wasted all my words privately, but yeah, it's just such a shout out to you for being so community minded and just doing something where you're you know, not profiting and just we all like-minded and building but also giving back to the community. So yeah, thank you. Grateful for you.
Thank you, Laney, for your kind words. Yeah, eventually, you know, once we get into the proper delegation amount, there will be, hopefully it'll pay for itself, and there will be some profits. But what I intend to do with those profits is to basically maintain the servers, keep everything up to par, you know, develop future projects. But also I want to partner with, you know, I don't want to get ahead of myself again. I keep getting ahead of myself, but I want to partner with great other validators and other communities, and you know, just like the Zen Lounge IBC. They're doing something really cool coming up very soon. They're going to be giving a lot back to the community by taking some toys to a certain hospital, but I don't want to spill any beans on that. I'm going to save that. I'll let him disclose that if he hasn't already. But anyways, real quick, Ralphie, we're wrapping up, but I see you just joined to speak. What's up, man?
What's going on, brother? Congratulations on the validator and everything you have going on. Just tuning in while I work. If you did want help with setting up some automation for your drip on those NFTs, I could put you in contact with our developer that has it done for our Core Apes holders, where that drip happens automatically. And yeah, just reaching out my hand in case you need any help with that, or if you just wanted to have the conversation with a dev to see what your options are. I'm open to help you out with that.
Wow, mad love, Ralphie. I really appreciate you looking out. And again, this community is a beautiful community filled with bright minds, and we all have each other's best interests in mind. So you can definitely bet I will be reaching out to you to explore some of those options. I like to keep all possibilities in mind. And big shout out to the Core Apes Club. I actually hold a few of the NFTs myself, and they do a monthly drip as well. They just started their own validator. I believe it's called Drip Labs, also a bare metal validator and probably a good choice. So all that being said, guys, again, this will always be for the community, by the community. Big love to everyone here. Thank you to all of our guest speakers. I'm eternally grateful to be a part of this community and to be able to serve and to give back. So until next time, Solo Nation, it's onwards and upwards.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engine full power and liftoff of Starlink 437. Go Falcon, go Starlink. Falcon is pitching downrange.
With the incredible views that we've been seeing, you can see that Falcon 9 has lifted off from pad 39A, carrying our Starlink payload into space. Now we are throttling down the engines in preparation for Max Q. Max Q is the
supersonic.
Max Q is the largest structural load that the vehicle will see on ascent.
Max Q.
There's that call out that we have passed through Max Q. Now next up, we do have 4 events happening. That will be MECO, stage separation, SES-1, and then fairing deployment. MECO is main engine cutoff, and that's where all 9 of those engines that you see right now lit up on the first stage, those will shut down and help slow the stage down in preparation for stage separation. That will be when the first stage separates from the second stage. First stage will make its way back down to Earth and land on our drone ship. Just read the instructions.